Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is a tutorial on how to cut and sew a female trouser. These are the measurements required for this tutorial. In case you don't know how to take your measurements, I have the video up on my channel. Mark out an allowance of ½ inch on the waist and 2 inches by the side. This trouser will have a waistband of 1.5 inch. Place your tape on your waistline and measure out your crouch depth. My crouch depth is my round hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch for ease allowance, and this is because this is a high waist trouser. If it's not, then I will not add that extra ease allowance, okay? And mind you, I remove my 1.5 inch for waistband before marking out my measurement, so remember to do this. You must not use 1.5 inch for your waistband, you can use 2 inches, okay? So I'm now taking my hip measurement, which is 9 inches. After marking that, I'll mark out my knee measurement. And after doing this, I'm going to use my ruler to draw a straight line. If you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do that. I post helpful tutorials for beginners, so if you are a beginner, you will really benefit a lot from my channel, so subscribe, okay? After marking out my lines, I'll label it my hip, my crouch, my knee. Then from my crouch, I'll go down by 3 inches and mark out my thigh line. Connect your line using a straight ruler, then label it so that you don't get confused, okay? Especially if you are a beginner. Then mark out the full length of your trouser. The full length of my trouser is 43, including hemming allowance, but my paper is not up to that, but I'll still add more later. On your hip line, divide your round hip by 4 and mark out what you have there. You are still going to go ahead and mark the same thing on your crouch line, and then mark the same thing on your waistline. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing properly, my camera is not positioned well and I didn't know, okay? So you use a straight ruler to connect your lines. To get your crouch extension, you divide your round hip by 4. Whatever you have, go ahead and divide it again by 4. Then that is going to be your crouch extension. For instance, my round hip divided by 4 is 1025. If I divide 1025 by 4, whatever I have, that is my crouch extension. So I've gone ahead to mark that. On my crouch line, I'm going to come out with 1 inch in order to draw my curve well, okay? So after doing this, you draw your curve. You can use your free hand to do this, or if you have a curve ruler, you can also use your curve ruler. All of them will give you a nice result, okay? If you are still watching this video up till now, that means you have found something interesting. Please subscribe to my channel because I'll post more interesting tutorials for you in the future, okay? So after doing this, the next thing you want to do again is go to your waistline. I'm sorry you can't see this properly, but you get what I'm doing. Go to your waistline and go in with 1 inch. I'm doing this because I don't want to add that to my trouser, so I want it to have that good fitting, okay? It's optional, but I love to do this to my trousers. So you draw it and connect it to your hip line. Then from there, you are going to take your round waist divided by 4. So you mark that out. If you want to add that to your trouser, this is the time to do it. You go ahead and add extra 1 inch, but I won't be doing that, so I'll just go ahead and connect my round waist divided by 4 and connect it down to my hip line. Come down to your crouch line and measure whatever you have there, including your crouch extension. You'll be dividing it by 2. This is to find the midpoint of your trouser, okay? So whatever you have there, you divide it by 2. The easiest way to do this is to fold your tape like the way I'm doing in this video now, and then you mark the midpoint. After finding your midpoint, go ahead and measure half of it. Whatever you have there is what you are going to mark all through your trouser. Okay, you mark it on your thigh line, on your knee line, and on the full length of your trouser. On your thigh line, divide your round thigh by 2. Whatever you have, divide it again by 2. For instance, if I divide my round thigh by 2, I'll have 12.5. If I divide 12.5 by 2 again, I'll have 625. I'll place that 625 on that mark I made at the midpoint of my trouser. Then I'll mark my 12.5. Just pay attention and see what I'm doing, okay? It's very easy. Are you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, please subscribe, okay? It will motivate me to create more helpful videos like this for you, okay? So I'll go ahead and repeat the same thing I did on my thigh line, on my knee line. I'll divide my round knee by 2. Whatever I got, I'll divide it again by 2. So if I divide my round knee by 2, I'll have 8.5. I'll go ahead and divide 8.5 by 2 again, okay, and I'll have 425. I'll place that 425 at that mark I made at the middle of my trouser. Then I'll mark 8.5, okay. I'll go ahead and mark the same thing I marked on my knee line on the full length of my trouser. If you want, you can go ahead and divide your round ankle just the way we did for the thigh and the knee, but I don't want to do that, so I'm marking the same thing I marked on my knee on the full length of my trouser, okay. Then after doing this, I'm going to use my ruler to connect my lines. Just pay attention and see how I'm doing it. It's time to add your allowances. You add half an inch allowance on your crouch and half an inch on your inseam, just like I'm doing now. Watch closely, okay, so you don't make any mistakes. After that, add 1 inch allowance at the side of your trouser. We are done with the front pattern, so cut it out. I'm reminding you again to subscribe to my channel just in case you have not subscribed, okay? You don't want to miss out on the very helpful tutorials I post on this channel. On your waistline, go down with 1 inch to create your waist slant, okay? Just pay attention and see how I'm doing it. I've marked my 1 inch and I'm going to connect it to the other side of the waist. After doing this, I'm going to add back my ½ inch allowance to join the trouser and the waistband together, okay. Then I'll cut out that remaining 1 inch. I added extra paper to complete the length of my trouser. We are done drafting our front pattern. Let's cut it out on our fabric. Make sure your fabric is on fold and pin it down to prevent it from moving when you are cutting it, okay? To cut your back pattern, make sure that your fabric is on fold and you have at least 3 inches allowance on both sides of your trouser. Then on your crouch length, you are going to come out with 2 inches, okay, as your crouch extension for the back. You come out with 2 inches. Then from that crouch line, you are going to go down with half an inch. On your waistline, you are going to go in with 2 inches. Okay, mark that 2 inches. Just pay close attention and see what I'm doing. Okay, you mark 2 inches in. Then on that line that you mark 2 inches in, you are going to go up with 2 inches. You go to your side back and you go out with 2 inches to replace that 2 inches you took out from the center back. Connect using a straight line. Go to your hip line, mark 2 inches, and the same thing on your crouch line. Then connect them together. Then on your knee line, come out with 1 inch. You are going to mark the 1 inch all the way down, but before then you connect your knee to your crouch. From your back waistline, you are going to draw a curve connecting to your back crouch. You are going to connect from your crouch down to your knee using a straight line. It's time to cut out, but before then you are going to decide if you want your zipper to be at the back. If that is the case, then from the waistline at the back you are going to come down with 10 inches. After marking that 10 inches, you come out with 1 inch. That is your zipper allowance. I'll be adding my zip at the side, so I won't need to do that. But if you want to add your zip at the center back, then do that. After that, go ahead and cut out your pattern. This is it. So now I'll get my front part of the trouser, both of them together, and I'll sew the crouch area using half an inch, that half an inch allowance we added earlier. Then on the back, I'm going to sew it too using half an inch. If you are adding your zipper at the back, remember to leave your zipper space open, okay? Then you can now sew the rest. So I'll go ahead and do this off camera. I've done it and this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the back part of my trouser and I'll place the front part on top of it, front side facing front, okay? Make sure that your seam align just the way I'm making sure that mine matches. Okay, when you are done doing that, then you are going to sew the inner part of your trouser starting from the center so that both legs will be equal. So I'll sew it using 1/2 inch. I've gone ahead to do that on both sides of the leg, and this is what we have. It's now time to sew the outer part of the trouser. If you're adding your zipper to the side, find out the side you want to add your zipper and leave a space of 10 inch around there. Okay, leave a zipper space of 10 inches. Then you can now use your 1 inch to sew all the way through. Do this for both of the legs. You can sew the other leg completely since you are only adding zipper to one side of the trouser. So I've done this. As you can see, I left the space open to attach my zipper. But before I attach my zipper, I'm going to attach my waistband. I've already prepped my waistband. The width of my waistband is 4 inches and the length is 40. My round waist is 32. I added extra just in case. So by the time I fold 1/2 inch and use 1/2 inch to attach the waistband to my trouser, I'll be left with 3 inches. When I fold the 3 inches, I'll have 1.5 inch that we brought out for our waistband. To attach your waistband to your trouser, just bring out the front side of your trouser, just as I'm doing. Just pay close attention to what I'm doing here, and you bring out the front side of your waistband. The part that you are going to be sewing is the part that is not folded. If you look closely on the waistband, you see that I only folded one part and I left the other part. That's the part that you'll be sewing on top of your trouser, the front side of your trouser, not the back. You bring out a few inches, you bring it out. Then after doing this, use your pin to secure it before sewing it. So I'm going to pin it down now. Pin your waistband all round. After that, you are going to sew it using 1/2 inch. So I've done that, as you can see. It's now time to fix your zipper. I have a detailed tutorial on my channel on how to fix your zipper, so if you don't already know how to do it, you can go and watch it. I'm done fixing the zipper. This is what it looks like on the outside and on the inside. So I'll open my zipper up now so that I can fold my waistband. So what you're going to do now is to fold your waistband just as I'm doing now. After that, you run a straight stitch close to your zipper, not too close that it will enter the teeth of your zipper, but close enough. Fold it down like so and run a straight stitch there. After doing this, trim off the excesses so that it won't be too bulky when you fold it in. This is what it will look like when folded in. So I'll trim off the other side too. Before sewing it all round, use your pin to secure your waistband very well. Make sure that the seam line at the waist is not showing. Okay, so fold everything in very well and use your pin to secure it all round. After doing this, you can now turn it out to the front and run a stitch on top that seam line, on top of it. Okay, so make sure everything is covered. So this is what I have after doing this, and this is the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay, Thank you. You can now hem your hemline and weave the inside if you have a serger, all of that. But this is the end of this tutorial. Bye.